So I'm about to school you up on what's actually causing your depression and anxiety. And then also give you a routine and give you foods that you can start eating so that we can get rid of the depression, get rid of the anxiety. Also, if you have bipolar, this will help too. But I'm going to educate you guys a little bit, and then I'm going to give you some food that you can eat to actually change the way that you're eating, change the way that you're existing as a human being. And then also, what I'm going to do is give you my routine that I run every day that keeps me happy and also keeps me fulfilled. Um, so, for those of you who don't know what the GI tract is, it's the gastrointestinal tract, also known as your gut microbiome, right? And it directly affects your brain chemistry and mood. So, the state of your microbiome can even increase or decrease your risk of depression and anxiety. The good news is by improving your gut health, you can boost your mental health too. It might seem odd that I'm saying that this thing is saying that your gut holds so much power over your mental state. But like if you've ever felt butterflies before, if you've ever felt that state where you're like nervous and you get butterflies in your stomach, you understand that they're connected. So, people with GI disorders, for example, have an increased risk of depression and anxiety, even if they don't have digestion issues. An unhealthy gut can lower your mood. So, your gut is home to a shit ton of bacteria, right? And it's called the microbiome. It's basically a whole separate universe in your stomach. And the microbiome is what keeps your body healthy. A healthy microbiome, healthy body. Unhealthy microbiome, unhealthy body. So, yeah, like I said, the microbiome is home to bacteria, viruses, and other microorganisms that we rely on for survival. So these bacteria play a major role in all aspects of human physiology, mental processes included. So the gut bacteria actually communicate with the brain and vice versa. Um, that's why the gut is called the second brain. The gut microbiome is a command central for several essential roles. It defends against infections. It digests nutrients that are otherwise indigestible, and then it regulates the creation of new blood vessels. So, how does all this have to do with mental health? So, our gut makes neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that are received by a brain cell, a neuron, and they help regulate tons of different things from movement to motivation to emotions. Many people think depression and anxiety are a chemical imbalance in the brain. That is the bullshit that Big Pharma tells you so that they can get you on their drugs and it fucks up your brain more. That is a lie. I promise you it's a lie. I know it's a lie for a fact because the way I'm going to tell you to eat, the way I'm going to tell you to live is exactly how I fixed all the bullshit that the big pharma, this medical system told me I had. So, more than 30% of neurotransmitters, remember, neurotransmitters are chemical messengers, and nearly 90% of your body's serotonin. So, for those of you who don't know, serotonin is the feel good hormone. And guess what? If your microbiome isn't healthy, guess what? Your body's not going to produce much of serotonin. And if 90% of it comes from your gut, what does that say about what your mood's going to be like? What does it say about your ability to feel good? If you're overweight and you got all this ultra processed bullshit sludge in your stomach, you're going to feel like shit all the time. That's just how it is. So I also want you to think about big pharma too, right? Like when you get put on anxiety and depression medications, they're SSRIs, which they tell you, oh, you have a chemical imbalance in your brain to where your brain doesn't produce enough serotonin, which is bullshit. It only produces 10%. So it's the gut that's not producing it, not the brain. But if they're gonna, that's what they do, bro. They just tell you, oh, you got a chemical imbalance in your brain. And then they're like, you got to take this drug to fix it. And it doesn't fix it. It makes it worse. It makes your brain operate worse. Um, so the imbalance of neurotransmitters may not be in your brain, but in your gut. Not may not, it is in your gut. An imbalance of bacteria in the microbiome can have serious consequences when it comes to GI health and mental health. So, in addition to depression and anxiety, there are several mental disorders that have been linked to changes and imbalances in the microbiome and digestive conditions. So, all these things that I'm about to list off are linked to an unhealthy microbiome. So, Alzheimer's disease, ADD and ADHD, autism, bipolar disorder, which is something I was diagnosed with. Well, diagnosed with, I don't believe in that shit. Dementia, obsessive compulsive disorder, so OCD, post traumatic stress disorder, so PTSD, and then schizophrenia. All right. So I gave you a bunch of info uh, that may make you feel like, fuck, how am I going to fix all this bullshit, bro? Like, I don't want to live this way anymore. And lucky for you, I'm going to give you the answers. When I was looking to figure all this stuff out, like, dude, I didn't have the answers. I took the time to like do all this research. Look, all these different things I searched through to be able to give you guys this information. If I had known to do this earlier, I would have done it way earlier. Now you guys have like a free ticket to feeling better. As long as you follow this, you follow what I'm asking you to do. Oh my God, your whole life will change. I promise you, dude. Look at where I'm at. Look at this. Hell yeah, brother. We're up in the sky, baby, in San Diego, California, in a high rise, in technically the penthouse, because this is the top floor of my building. Um, All right, so let's jump into the morning routine. So early wake up time before 5 a.m. I'm gonna put this in here too because I do breath work literally every single day. So check this out. We don't get taught how to regulate our emotions. We don't get taught how to regulate our thoughts, manage our energy. We don't get taught any of that in school. Guess what breath work does? One simple fix to fix all that shit. And if you're nervous, if you're feeling anxious all the time, right? You're like shaky, your heart rate's constantly up, you always feel like on high alert, like you always have to be paying attention to what's going on. Breath work will solve that. Reading, get something positive in your mind. As human beings, we're literally like the most negative fucks. We just are. That's how we are. And to be able to fill your brain with positive stuff first thing in the morning, you're getting a good start to your day. Also, journaling and affirmations. Guess what? Our brain's a fucking computer. So, what we saw growing up as kids, we will continue to recreate until we actually rewire what's going on up here, right? So, like, if you are overweight, that's what you saw growing up. That's what happened to me, right? And this isn't to shame you because most people stay stuck because they shame themselves. This is just to make you realize that if you knew better, you would have done better. So don't shame yourself for being overweight, for being super skinny. I've been super skinny too. I was like 140 pounds at 6'1" coming out of high school. So, like, don't shame yourself for that. The journaling, the affirmations is to rewire your brain. So, you have to know how to do both of those things properly in order for you to actually rewire your damn brain. Also, the gym. I hit the gym every day. Guess what? It's a great way to go from a low frequency state to a high frequency state and like blast yourself straight into flow state. So if you do that yet again, first thing in the morning, guess how you're going to feel? Wonderful. That's the answer to that one. Wonderful. And then macros, eating properly, knowing what numbers to hit for your proteins, carbs, fats. For those of you who need a place to start, at least eat your body weight in protein, in grams of protein. Please start there. Like, I would say 95% of America, probably a higher percentage, like 98%, is malnourished. You guys are just eating carbs and fats, and that's it. And like very, very little protein. You start eating more protein, your body will start to change like that. I promise you. Also, I need you to cut out sugar and processed foods. Those two things, no bueno for your body. That's that is what big pharma relies on you eating so that they can keep you in their system. It's the excess sugar in the body. It's all these chemicals and whatnot from the processed foods in your body that are like killing people, literally killing people. And all big pharma is doing is taking advantage of that. They take them into their system and they just barely keep you alive so that they can keep juicing money out of you. Then once you die, like I feel like most people nowadays, there's probably a statistic that most people nowadays die with medical debt. I guarantee it. And it's because big pharma's capitalizing on the fact that people don't know how to fucking eat. It's not taught in school. School isn't School is not a place for you to go to be successful. School is a place for you to go to learn how to become a worker for the system. Like, for those of you who don't know this, Rockefeller or the Rockefeller family is the one who started school, right? And it was literally used to train factory workers for their factories. It hasn't changed. They're just training you to go work for somebody else who decided to say, you know what, I'm not doing this. I'm going to make money for myself. But so here's this food list. Enough about big pharma and all that bullshit. Here's the food list. So God gave us an earth with a natural supply of food for a reason. So processed man-made bullshit lacks the nutrients needed for us to function and perform properly as human beings. The whole point of these foods is to get you back to the way you're supposed to eat as a human being and get your body and its systems firing the way that they should. For most people, your metabolism is shot. It's dead. It's not even awake. And for most people, literally just getting my fucking chest is looking good. I'm sorry. I have to bounce the titties a little bit. But for most people, their metabolism is so dead that that's why they're holding on to fat. And they're always, like, most people are always in a fight or flight state. And guess what happens? That's you're putting your body into like scarcity mode. So it literally, like, it holds on to your fat. It's like, no, what if we need this for later? So you start doing that breath work, you'll take yourself out of fight or flight. Your metabolism will probably kick up a little bit, but if you don't start to eat this way, nothing will change. Not very much will change. So, like I said, I want you to eat your body weight in grams of protein. Pick one of these protein sources: grass-fed ground beef, grass-fed New York steak, grass-fed filet mignon, pasture-raised eggs. Rule 1 protein powder. Make sure it's the isolate. It only has like half a gram of fat, and in one scoop, it's got 25 grams of protein. And then organic 93.7 ground turkey. Like, we'll add some chicken in there. organic, pasture raised chicken. It could be like you want to do chicken breasts. You like chicken thighs, drumsticks, uh those other cuts of meat like chicken wings, they just have a lot of fat in them. Chicken breasts and chicken tenders have the lowest amount of fat. If you want to go real low fat for the chicken, you just do tenders. They have like little to no fat in even just 6 ounces. So now for carbs, cut out all the bullshit carbs. Pop Tarts are not good for you. It's a bioengineered food. Cereal, not good for you. It's a bioengineered food. And if you don't know what that is, just look it up. And you'll probably be like, oh, fuck, I've been putting this shit in my body for my whole life, probably. I had to come to that realization. That's why I cut out processed foods. But for carbs, like maple syrup and organic honey, you know what they are? They're like nature's gift to us to have sweet stuff. Same with fruits, right? They're like, so maple syrup, honey, the sugar that you get from fruit, it's all super bioavailable. So guess what they're great for? Free gym, baby. You want something that'll digest fast and give you energy in the gym? Right there. Also, rice, oats. Um, we'll add sweet potatoes in there because I actually eat sweet potatoes and white potatoes as well. And then for fats, avocado, grass-fed butter, raw milk. Don't listen to the bullshit that people say, oh, raw milk is dangerous for you. You know why they say it's dangerous for you? Because it actually helps your gut microbiome. So no shit they're going to tell you it's dangerous. They don't want you healed. They want to keep you in the system. They want to keep you going to big pharma, buying their medications, going to doctor's appointments, all this. They're juicing all this money out of you. Raw kefir, same shit. Has a ton of healthy bacteria for your gut. And then also for fats, egg yolk. Don't do like all the seed oils and all that bullshit. They have to go. They have to go. You could use like coconut oil too. And if you want to use peanut butter, um, organic peanut butter, dude, the only ingredient in peanut butter should be peanuts. That's it. So when you go to buy peanut butter, look at the back of the jar. If it has 52 ingredients, cut like fuck that, bro. Could you? I I want you to start doing this. This is what made me say, "Oh hell no, I'm not putting half this shit in my body." I started turning the box around, and I would see the ingredients, and I'm like, I can't even pronounce half this shit. And if this is, even though it's boxed mashed potatoes, if this is mashed potatoes, why does it have 75 ingredients in it? Shouldn't it just be potatoes? That's fucked. And then for gut health, kimchi, a probiotic, and raw kefir. If you guys just stick to this, I'm telling you, literally your entire life will change. People will be like, people won't notice you. They won't recognize you. They won't recognize you as a person, and they will not recognize your energy. They're going to be like, whoa, something's different about you. Something is very, very different about you. And it's like, yeah, bitch, I put work into myself. That's what's different about me. Everybody else neglects themselves, works on their job, work on their car, they work on their house, they work on their kids, they work on like all this other bullshit, but people never work on themselves. Why? That's the game changer. You start working on yourself, holy shit. It's easy to be better than everybody else. Remember, when you go into that gym, the people that are actually in the gym, I want you to look around the next time you go into the gym. See how many people are actually in good shape and see how many people are still overweight. Do that. If you're actually in good shape, You're like top 1% of the world. Realize that. And it's not hard to get in shape. You just have to follow some shit. And then if you're looking for extra guidance, like personalized help, I have a coaching program. You can even just reach out to me on Instagram and ask me questions. I'm more than happy to help. Like, the whole reason I started this thing is because I was a depressed, anxious, bipolar motherfucker, and I'm not that anymore. And I feel an obligation to help the world, to help the people who have these problems, help the people who have problems or who have been trying to change their habits for years and years and years, haven't been able to do it. People who have been going to the gym for years and years and years haven't seen results. It's like it's unacceptable. If you're going to the gym and you're not getting results, it's like going to a job and not getting paid. You getting results in the gym is you getting paid for going to the gym. Think about that. But if you guys have any questions, reach out to me. Let me know what helped you in the comments. Share this with somebody. If you want to if you want to start doing this thing, you want to start doing this morning routine, dude, like get a friend to do it with you. You guys can do it together. Like don't just keep this thing, don't hold this thing hostage to yourself. Like share it with people, please. This is literally what I do on a day-to-day basis. It's my program. It's what's making me a better human. It'll make you a better human too, I promise you. You just got to stick to it. Got to actually do it.